What's going on, everybody? We're about to do a review of the Keeping the Blues Alive at Sea cruise. It is a killer time. We had so much fun. Highly recommended. So the reason why we got to go on the cruise was because Dion was playing the cruise. He was one of the headliners. And Dad got to play with Dion and rip some mean guitar. And I got video of everything. I was in the front row. Well, actually, they let me go in the median and get some, like, right under Dion and Dad and everybody in the band.
It was a lot of fun. We want to thank Joe Menza for inviting us.
Yeah, Joe, that was so fun, man.
We had a great time. We hung out with his mom and dad. We had dinner with Roy Weissman, his partner.
Shout out to Roy. What a unbelievable setup and planning, and it's just that's what this is all about, is keeping it alive. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to pass it on to the new generation. We want to keep the blues alive, and so it just kind of hit me that, like,
you know, and that's the
this
name,
is where I need to be.
That's the name of their record company, Keeping the Blues Alive, and they've signed and Joe's produced a lot of great blues acts, Joanne Shaw Taylor, and the list goes on and on.
Everybody was great. I mean, you know, you got Bobby Rush, you got Larry McRae, you got Joanne Shaw Taylor, you got Maggie Rose, unbelievable voice.
Mike Zito
Mike
and Albert
Zito.
Stelia?
Yeah, Robert Randolph.
And Jimmy Vivino. He did all the jams.
Yeah.
And
which were unbelievable.
They had guest star jams. They had an Allman Brother review, I guess. I don't know. But
yeah.
Lucky enough, Mikey got to play on that.
We'll
talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, you know, shout out to Maggie Rose and her band for putting me on, and, you know, being able to play with Jimmy Hall was pretty cool.
Yeah. You know, Jimmy Hall is an old hero of mine because he was the singer for Wet Willie back in 70, 71. And I got to see them open for the original Allman Brothers here in New York. I must have been 15 or 16 years old. You want to tell a story about how you met him? And I mean,
yeah. So, well, first I met him. You know, actually, we back it up. We just walked in the cafeteria. Me and Dad are checking out the food, of course. And
boy, you eat.
Yeah, so I was all jacked up, and I was struggling to, you know, get a drink because there was a big line to get a drink. So I'm standing there, and I'm like, man, where else can I get drinks? So the guy goes to this, go down to this other part of the, you know, boat. So I go down there, and this guy's following behind me. He's got a hat on. And, you know, it was out of context, you know. So he's like, man, what the hell I got to do to get a drink around here? So I turn around, I kind of recognized him, you know. I was like, I couldn't quite put it to it. And Dad comes over and he's like, Jimmy Hall. I'm like, oh my God, it's Jimmy Hall, you know. So we hit it off a little bit, you know, in the line there. And then
we were pushing to get, Mike wasn't one of the artists, and I got to
No.
play a lot. And we kind of asked everybody, hey, can Mike get in and play? And we were hitting some walls.
We were hitting a little bit of,
but we kept pushing
because everybody wants to play. I mean, you're on
Yeah.
the boat, everybody wants to play.
And there's a million artists,
And
and
there's
they all want to play. And,
exactly.
And so
And who am I? But
we hung out with Maggie Rose, and she was running the Allman Brother thing.
yeah, her band. Shout out to Austin too, her manager.
Well, I had a lover. I don't think I'd risk another these days.
And so we asked, hey, can Mike get up and play? And they were like, well, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe. But so they said, come up, bring your guitar. So we go get the guitar. We're about an hour before. We get in sure enough, we go up to the elevator, and there's Jimmy and his son.
Yeah, Jimmy Hall and his son.
And we're like, Jimmy, what
Shout out
songs
to
are you
Ryan,
gonna do?
too.
Yeah, Ryan was this great kid. And we said, hey, can we, play with you tonight? He's like, man. I said, what songs you doing? He goes, well, we're doing this. We're doing Statesboro Blues. I said, oh, Jimmy, can Mike play Statesboro Blues? So he's like, yeah, man. So we went, to the sound check
Yup.
with Jimmy, and they said, sorry, right?
Yeah, well, there was a bunch of people back there. I mean, the backstage was packed. He's like, man, I don't think we could do this. I don't think we can get you. And I said, okay. So I just hung out, and I was about to leave, and Austin's like, wait a minute, hang tight. I said, okay, I'll hang tight. And so, they did sound check. I didn't want to be invasive, but I was fortunate enough that they had brought another amp that they didn't know about beforehand. So there was another amp out there, and the stage manager was like, Mike, why don't you go plug in? And I plugged in for like 2 seconds while the people started coming in. They're like, you got 2 seconds to see the damn thing works, So I get in there and like, okay, great, sounds good.
Hey, come on,
Yeah, so it was a great time to get up there, and
Yeah, we'll show you.
I was watching Dad the whole time, and taking video and screaming and
Yeah.
yelling.
Chill.
And
Mike's
I thought
mom.
I'd never be able to get up on the big stage.
That was a highlight for us, highlight for Mike. I just want to say that I had the time of my life. Get to meet all these people, get to play on this boat was just amazing.
The movement of it too. It's where I want to be. It's where you want to be.
Yeah, if you ever want to get the chance, he runs 2 a year. One is in Europe and one is in the Caribbean or wherever they go. We left out of Miami, and it was just 2,500 blues fanatics. And it was a trip for me. because, you know, hanging backstage, meeting everybody, playing these old guitars, that's another story, right? So this is Old Red, and you know, I call it Old Red. I've had this guitar 49 years. I bought it in high school. It's everybody, guys who know me know I'm a big vintage guy. I got everything, but like this is my baby. And then we were like, you know what? We got to bring another guitar for Mike, and plus I play slide in a couple songs with Dion that we just added. You know, he had Blues with Friends and Stompin' Ground. They were the last two #1 blues albums with Dion. A lot of people don't know that. So we played a lot of those blues songs on the cruise, and I needed a slide guitar. So he's got a buddy, Mike Santa, out in Long Island.
Oh yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
Yo,
we went out there.
We've got this.
We bought this from him, and it's interesting. It's a 61 Melody Maker, but he had mini humbuckers put in it, and they're so sweet. And the thing is,
Everybody.
the first show I did on the first evening, they all was like, "Oh my God, man, we want that guitar."
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody wanted the guitar.
Yeah, every
man.
time we went and played somewhere, he was like, "Man, a Melody Maker." Even James, our guitar tech, was like, "Joe, I got to buy that guitar from you." But after playing it, we didn't ever sell it to nobody. It was great, and we'll let you go with some video, huh?
Yes, sir.